This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, but the real star of today's show are you, the pit crew, because we are here for today's edition of the Pitstop to talk about today's sim racing news. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. I sure did. I had a very busy, full weekend, and I had some highs and lows, and we'll talk a little bit about that later in the show. But let's go ahead and get going into sim racing news. And when I say you're the star of today's show, I really mean that, because I'm here to present what I have found on the internet as sim racing or gaming news that's relevant to us. For you guys, if there's anything you want to talk about, you let me know in the chat, and we will take diversions and find whatever topics that are fitting for us, because the reason we do this show is to hang out with friends and just talk about sim racing. That is the whole point. That's why I do it each morning, and that's why these shows just continue to get better. And I'm not going to name all the names because there are so many now, and periodically I will bring out all the names. But I got so many emails this week from people sending me stories and topics and ideas for the show, and I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate all the feedback, all the cooperation, all the help, all the reciprocation, and it is an amazing community that we're building. So there is my rant of the day, my rant about how awesome we all are, and we should all pat ourselves on the back. So what's going on in sim racing? I have not watched it, but I can tell you I'm going to watch and listen to every minute of it. Dirty Mo Media, if you don't know, Dirty Mo Gang is sort of like the name of Dale Earnhardt and all of his sim racing friends, but he's now got like a podcast. Is it a podcast if you have video? I think of a podcast as being audio only. But anyway, here's Dale Earnhardt talking about sim racing, and can you judge a driver's real talent on iRacing? So I'm going to listen because I want to find out, but rather than skip it and wait till I've heard about it, I want to let you guys know about it. Also at iRacing today, their release notes. So 2018 Season 1 Patch 2 release notes. The biggest thing in this is a BOP, balance of power adjustment to the GT3 cars. Hello, William, Sim Racing Powdock, how you doing? Hello, everybody. Somebody I can't say hi to everybody, obviously, but this is a big deal here. Balance of power adjustments, you know, I just came off the 12-hour race, which we'll talk about. This is a big change. So all those teams who put all that time, energy, trying to figure out what car to run, getting their setups ready, all that's out the window and starting over before they get to Sebring. So that will mix things up quite a bit in iRacing and a whole bunch of other things, and you can get that release notes if you're an iRacing member over at the thing. Also, I have a link in the description of the show, so you can get that. Next up, Assetto Corsa. Bonus Pack 3 has just been delayed and delayed and delayed, coming over to the PS4 while everybody else has been enjoying it. And it looks like they do finally have a remedy, and it will be coming out next week. So if you're a PS4 Assetto Corsa player and you've been wanting to run at Laguna and take advantage of some of the other updates to the sim, you're going to finally get that next week. That's good news for all of you guys. R-Factor 2. I need your guys' help on this one. So I saw this was on Friday, I believe. And this is R-Factor 2. Hello, old friend. And here's the video. I think I can play this without getting it pulled. Oh, what's it doing? There we go. So please help me. If you're an R-Factor aficionado, is it the car? That kind of looked like a Corvette or a Ferrari rear end. Kind of funny you'd say those two in the same sentence. But, or is it the transition, which has already come out? Anyway, it was a very interesting tease of sorts, but do you tease something? Corvette C7, is that what it is? So that's why I asked for your guys' help. I wasn't 100% sure. But anyway, that's coming up at R-Factor 2. Gotta love that. As they continue to pick up the speed on their development. Gotta love everyone. Have you guys noticed this? Everyone is starting to pick up the speed on their development. So watch what we see over the next few months from all the game developers. C7R GTE 2016 spec car. Thank you. Thank you. Again, why do I love doing this show? Because you guys know a lot of things that I don't. And between us all, we can get the full story on all of this. I love it. Next up, Race Room. Speaking of picking up speed. All right, another teaser. Where are we? What track is next in Race Room? This is their teaser photo. I see some palm trees, if we're just looking for identifiers. I see mountains that restrict certain regions that are known to be flat. What's next from Race Room? Could be very cool. Also, and this is a little unfair of me because I've given so much love to Rudy Van Buren and Brendan Lee, and even talked extensively about Enzo Bonito. Alexander Dornadin was one of the other finalists in the East Rock. So there's a little video here, so if you go over to Race Room, you'll be able to find this. Again, the link is at thesimpit.com. And it shows him a little bit. So, despite not making it to the final event, he was one of the 4 finalists, which is quite an accomplishment in its own. And I believe he is the Race Room FIA champion, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, banana trees. So where is that? Just checking in with you guys and all your guys' comments. You guys are great. Thank you. You entertain me. Codemasters has a video, and this is Dirt 4 Esport. And this might be the perfect game leveling sim. If you want to get into and you want to put a bunch of energy forward on Dirt 4, this might be a good avenue. It's not going to be the most extensive setup sim. It's going to be really getting a handle on those cars and driving the stages with perfection. So, if you're looking for an esport that might be fun, easy to get in on, you can check that out. Again, I have the link to that in the description of the show at the Simpit as well. So, please, if any of you ever go after any of these, let me know. Let me know where you were on the leaderboard. I'll share with you where I am on leaderboards when I go after them, like when I was on the world's fastest gamer on embarrassing level. I'd like another go at it. I think I'd do a lot better this time around. Mitchie would give me a hand. Benjamin Worthen, welcome to the show. Benjamin, are you going to come to Long Beach? We're doing a Long Beach party. Benjamin is a good friend of mine, also part of the Simpit pit crew. Anyway, next up at Formula 1 2017, they are promoting Formula 1 with game reveals, the car reveals coming out of Formula 1. And we talk about F1 2017 and how it's going to transition to the world of esport, or already is there, but this is the only one that can play this game of going with Formula 1. If Formula 1 has a new wing on a car, they're going to get it. If there's a new track, they're going to get it. The licensing is like automatic in their deal, it seems, and that means that they are going to always, as long as that goes on, they are going to be the premier Formula 1 sim, and they're the ones, as esport grows, if Formula 1 gets involved, depending on the path of Ferrari, McLaren, and others, this could be the sim of choice, and rightfully so. So I can see why they're working with cross-promoting with Formula 1, obviously. Next up, this is just cool for you Oculus people. I don't know if you know it, but the Winter Olympics has a VR experience going on. So, Long Beach, yes, we're getting a party together. We're going to have a meetup. Well, William, pull some funds together and come down and join us for the party. It's not going to be a party. We're going to do a meetup at the racetrack. Maybe get a bite to eat outside the racetrack. Nothing's official yet, but there's about 5 or 6 of us who are already talking, and I'd love to see that number go up. But if you want to check this out, I might have a VR experience coming this week. Maybe I'll be able to take advantage. But I'd love to know how this is. So if any of you VR guys have already done this, I want to know what they're doing for you. I've seen commercials on TV. I see it at the Oculus Twitter feed. And I'd love to know. Yeah, Spatial, you saw it. Have you done it? Has anyone done it? Is it cool? I mean, VR goes so far beyond just sim racing. Hey, ProSim. Alright, next up. Sim Racing Systems has announced their new season. And with that, of course, comes our new season. And forgive me for not having my graphics as good as they can be just yet. We're going to get there. I've been racing every weekend this month in giant, huge, important races, and it's sucked all my time. Today is the day that normalcy returns. But here's our schedule. Thursday and Friday night, 6 p.m. We are running, I'm calling it the 90s DTM Revival. Not a very original title, but Mugello, Laguna Seca, Red Bull Ring, Nürburgring GP, Barcelona, Vallelunga. We got a different selection of tracks, 3 car makes. We got our practice servers. Thank you, Dennis the Big One, for having those up and running. And you can get out there and practice with us. Wednesday night, I'm going to do an attack the track and work on setup. No Yip this year, so we're going to have to work on our setup and get that car as good as we can get it. And I'm no setup pro, as you know. And like I said, I want you to come out and join us. And there are a lot of great series. And what I really meant to do is be a little more like Aussie Stig, who has Renault RS1. Williams got a series. Here's Williams right here. Sim Racing Paddock with the Porsche Cup. So they run in 2 days, in 3 days. So 6 hours before our race is Aussie Stig. But what I want to give him credit for is actually making a proper promo. And I've been meaning to do this for a few seasons. And man, I'm just so short on time that it's just not happening. But Aussie Stig, he actually did a proper promo for his series, so my hat's off to him. Well done. Mugello is a very fun track. At Race Department, we've got some preview pictures of Dakar 18, so they're ahead of the curve on this one, getting some screenshots. They have an interview coming up with these guys as well, where if you want to get any of your questions asked, you can get over there to Race Department and get your question. I'll be dying to play this one. You know, this is a. I hope it can rival Dirt on a sim level. How cool would it be if this drove great, and you could really do it, and it felt good. But even if not, even if it ends up being a little on the cartoony side or arcadey side, whatever you want to call it, and the more disciplines that they add, the more clowny. Is that going to be my new word instead of calling them Simcade? The less likely it's going to have incredible physics, but it could be a very, very fun diversion game or a Monday Fun Day game, which we're going to need to talk about. Next up, I got a lot to talk about. I better keep moving along here. Jeff Gordon. So this is at Fox Sports. Jeff Gordon heads over to Chevy Simulator. Look at this sim. Look at this sim that Jeff Gordon is getting in. That is the way a screen should be done. That's showing real footage. I can't show the whole video. Look at the sim he's getting into, though. The whole top comes down. I'm not going to play much of the video because I have a history of getting my videos pulled for breaking the rules of streaming. But there you go. That's the shot I really want to see. But I have the link to this if you want to check it out yourself at thesimpit.com. And just another story. Another moment. Fox Sports making sim racing look great. Now we just need a few more guys to realize they can do it at home. No, it won't be that elaborate. But look at how elaborate this is, and I didn't spend a fortune. Next up, this is a big deal. Team LDLC launches into sim racing with virtual drivers. So they took virtual drivers, brought them under the wing of an already formed esport team that is known for Counter-Strike. They run in the ESL Pro League, ESWC. And I've been talking about the way this is all going to play out in the next 6 months. Drivers and teams getting sucked up by the guys who already know how to run an esport. These teams have budgets. They can afford to bring drivers in. They can afford to give them the travel money to send them after these prizes. It's going to be really hard to do it as a privateer. But LDLC picks up virtual drivers. There you go. A whole team ready to go. You just need to give them the tools to start being an esport team. That's what's going on. VR Scout talks about futuristic AR esports tournament coming to the USA. No, that's not the ad. So this is obviously interesting advertisement for it. But we could be seeing the next phase, what esports will be like if they go to, say, AR type games like this. And you could see a whole new level of entertainment depending on how it's done and how it plays out. I mean, it could get downright vicious. Anyway, that could be the future of what we're going to see in the future. Next up, and I'm just going to keep moving around on some of these. If they pique your interest, you can get the link at thesimpit.com. But Capcom has formed a new IP with a new name. And the whole question is, what are they doing? What are they going after? What are they trying to capture with these new ventures that are going on? What market of the esport world are they trying to corner by creating new entities, essentially, to facilitate it. And they're not the only one, by the way. Esports finally arrives in Japan. I didn't get a chance to read this article, but it sounds like this is something that has been not as prevalent there, despite the enthusiasm for gaming in Japan. So this is at Time Sunyan. And I'm going to keep moving along because some of these aren't so sim racing direct. This kind of is. Grand Theft Auto 5 Redo 1.3 mod is now available. Improves NPC physics and enhances animation. So that is, I wouldn't have even guessed that as a Grand Theft Auto screenshot. So that's probably some of what they're talking about there. This is a cool article, and I bring this up because we were talking Grand Theft Auto already, but it's a nostalgic look back at Grand Theft Auto 3. And I think that a lot of people will really say that Grand Theft Auto 3 was probably the best one ever made. And so here's just a look back in time on that. And I wonder if any of you are old enough to remember when Grand Theft Auto was actually like a top-down view game. It was nothing like what it is played as today. Next up, article about how the PS5, and is this really what a PS5 is going to look like? I don't know. I'm not that hip to that side of the gaming world, but Xbox 2, PS5 could both be cloud-based, and this is an article from the guys at Final Fantasy talking about how we might be beyond the point of us owning and even holding the games, but that the whole thing is going to be on the internet. And I guess with their frame rate and controls, they can restrict things a little better than on the PC world. But that's where we're going, guys. Monster Energy Supercross releases on iOS. So just heads up there if that's one. That might actually be the best place to play Monster Energy Supercross. Depending on controls and how the game actually plays. Next up, Descent hits Steam as an Xbox game preview release is confirmed. It's a downhill mountain biking game, Descent. And this kind of... I love mountain biking. I love downhill mountain biking. The problem to me with a mountain bike game is that a big part of mountain biking is a lot of what we see is the difficulties of having a proper motorcycle game or sim, and then on top of that adding the cardio aspect of it. But it could be a lot of fun, and skateboard games are fun, and they certainly don't necessarily hold to reality, I think is a fair way of putting it for most skate games that I've played. But this could be really cool. I love downhill mountain biking. I love mountain biking in general. That could be a lot of fun. Next up, hands-on preview of Pure Farming 2018. It's all about the coffee. Only reason I'm bringing this up is because today is Monday. Monday is fun day. And tonight we will have to pick something to play, something to do that will hopefully be fun and a nice diversion from all the hardcore sim racing we've been doing. I am open to suggestions. Priority suggestions will be on Patreon. Any suggestions anybody has, type them into the chat. Any great thoughts, we'll go ahead and snatch something up and have some fun playing that this evening. So that's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Beyond that, more details on F1's streaming service emerge. So a lot of people were at that cut-the-cord moment in time where people are trying to dump their cable companies all over the place. F1's trying to keep pace with what's going on, and there's more details on about what they're going to be streaming, how it'll play out. So you can check that out at Planet F1. Gravel Season Pass will feature 5 DLC packs. Free cars are coming as well. That's at GT Planet. Again, all the links. I know I'm blowing through so many things here today, so I'm sorry to go at such a pace, but I don't want to be here all day with so many topics, and I figure we all, different strokes for different folks. So some people love this but don't like that, and vice versa, so I'm trying to rock and roll around it. Look at that. That's Vegas. I just looked at this picture a little more clearly. That is Vegas in the background. That's kind of cool. A Vegas tarmac course in the rain, it looks like, is in this photo. Next up, we talked about the IP, and Assetto Corsa is doing the same thing. So, Assetto Corsa Competizione, 505 Games, the developers, or producers is a better title, has registered a new domain name. So what are we looking at here? Is this the next big esport, the next big affiliation with Assetto Corsa? We're going to have to find out more. Next up, Sim Racing Observer has a new PowerRankings for iRacing. So we can see who the big names in iRacing are, and some common names we've seen up on this list before. And if you want to see who the best of the best is, or see where you fall on the list, maybe you can find out. Have you done better than me? Because I've finally got my name on the list. Where am I? I'm up here in the 400s. Nothing too revolutionary. 406th is where I am. I've never been on the rankings before, but with my increase in racing and picking some important races out there, I've managed to get myself on the board. So, congratulations to me, and let me know if you're where you are on the list, and are you better than me? That would be nice to hear. And this is my final story of the day before I talk about just a few more things. 2 days, 18 hours, 37 minutes, 32 seconds until the limited offer ends. This is a body butt kicker. This is a shaker that goes on your chest. And you know, I gotta be honest, I have tried various versions of this. Vests, and jackets, even seats that had it built in. But it's kind of odd when it's directly into your body. And at the same time, it's really strong when it's into your body. I've seen a bunch of these come. I've seen a bunch of these go. At $149, that seems fairly reasonable. Looks like their planned price is $249. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Thank you, Spatial. But this could be an answer and a cheap, easy thing to do for butt kicker answers for you guys. So I believe that is the end of my news. Now, let's move on to a few other things. We talked about Sim Racing System. We will be racing on Thursday and Fridays. But we did just finish a season. So number one, I'm going to congratulate Cy Yip, William Noel, and Ricardo Mascarenas for finishing 1, 2, 3. Those guys, every race for the class of the whole group. And Cy gave us setups. They all practiced with us. You could watch what all three of them were doing. They weren't holding any secrets. There you go. Anyway, my deal with the gang was if we got over 50 drivers per race, per week, not every race, but per week, I would give away a t-shirt. And I didn't double, triple check, but we were over 50 on every race I attended. So I am going to go ahead and give up a Simpit t-shirt, as promised. And next season, I know we're going to be over 50 drivers per race. And if we are, I'm going to give away a t-shirt next season. And the deal has always been, and it will be the same for this season's DTM, if you score points, even 1 point, you just make appearance at every race of the season. No, each week of the season, because there are 2 races per week, then you're eligible. So what I did is I went through the leaderboard. So again, congratulations, Cy, William, and Ricardo. David, Doug, Eduardo, Chris, Ilya, Brandon round out the top 10, by the way, just to keep you guys know. I assembled a list of all the drivers who actually did score in all 6 races, all 6 weeks. And there are 29 of them. So what I am now going to do is go to my generator, and I'm going to make it 29 entries. And when I click this button, you guys can't see it. Hold on, I'm zooming in. There's my generator. Now, when I hit this, Cy Yip is number 1. Hector Munoz is number 29. All 29 of these drivers scored points. Did I? Yeah, I removed myself from the list. Good. I'm not on the list. And I am now going to pick a winner who gets a Simpit t-shirt. Number 21. Rick Longano gets the shirt. So I'll be reaching out to Rick Longano and get him a shirt sent out today. And next season for the DTM, so you better be out there. If you want to win a t-shirt for free, you get out there all 6 weeks. We race Thursday and Friday nights at 6 p.m. Just got to get in one of those races each week, 6 weeks, and you could win a t-shirt. come out on Wednesdays. We'll do Attack the Track. We have a 24/7 server running. All you have to do is search for Simpit. Very easy to find. Again, thank you, Dennis, for doing that. And I think the only thing I have left to talk about is I want to congratulate and thank Renee and Chris and all the guys behind the scenes at Avid Chronic Racing, Zach Speed, for allowing me to drive with them. We did the 12 hours of Bathurst. I streamed all 12 hours, and I was not able to... you'll know, if you weren't one of the 4,000 people who viewed that stream over the 12-hour period of time, you're never going to see it because, we had a lot of illegal things going on. So the video was pulled from YouTube. I knew it was going to happen while we were doing it, but we were just having so much fun. I'll do a special side prize. I played music during the whole stream. If you send me an email at sean@thesimpit.com, if you can guess the song that actually got my video pulled, I played music, and I'll give you a clue, so if you didn't see the stream, you can still enter and guess. Every song I played had a reference to cars. So I'm going to give a pair of Simpit stickers to you. You got to email your votes. Email me, and the heading must say band song in the title, so I can find them all. If you put an email to Sean, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com, guess what song got my video pulled from YouTube, and you'll get a pair of Simpit stickers. So, a t-shirt to Rick Logano, a t-shirt to whoever is randomly won from next season at Sim Racing Systems, and a pair of stickers to whoever can guess what song got my video pulled. Do that via email. In the title, you got to make it so you're saying band song, or yeah, something along those lines so I can find it. Yes, it will. That's why you need to give me a title so I can find it. It's not my fault if I can't find your thing. In the title, it must be very clear. Band song or band video, something along those lines. But if you guys guess it, I will give a pair of stickers, and one guess per person. And if I get more than one correct answer, I will give away more than one set. So you can have more than one winner on this contest. So there are my contests of the day. That's going to do it for today's Sim Racing news. I will be back on the air at 6 p.m. with a Monday Fun Day. Email me suggestions or hit me up on Patreon with what you think will be fun. Otherwise, I'll just pick it myself. And beyond that, Mitchie should be on the air doing some racing and other fun stuff today as well, so you can check that out. That's going to do it today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.